These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will in this crisis shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands by it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Heaven knows how to put a proper price upon its goods, and it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated. Freedom was his emphasis. Britain, with an army to enforce her tyranny, has declared that she has a right not only to tax, but to bind us all in all cases whatsoever. And if being bound in that manner is not slavery, then is there no such a thing as slavery upon earth. Even the expression is impious, for so unlimited a power can be only with God. That's Thomas Paine. You don't hear much about Thomas Paine these days, certainly by the media. Now, why am I reading that? What kind of soldier are you? I'm not talking about Army, Marines, etc. What kind of soldier are you? Are you a soldier for liberty or not? Because that's what this election's all about. The men who founded this country understood liberty. The men who founded this country understood the limitations of government. And the men who founded this country also understood what was meant by a free press. You know, contrast that with the media today, which is crucially important in this upcoming election. Contrast it with the media today. Do the media ever talk about individual liberty, private property rights, natural law, unalienable rights? Do they ever talk about that? No. What do the media talk about? Typically one of two things: pushing the progressive left agenda or trashing the President of the United States. That's pretty much it. They are Johnny and Janie two notes. Progressivism that was imported into the United States. Progressivism, which is the progeny of, yes, Marxism, Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels, Hegelism. Hegel, German philosophers who wrote about fundamentally transforming and altering the kind of society that we have, attacking capitalism, attacking the individual, insisting that the only way the individual can be really fully realized is through the state, that we all must be a part of the state, we all must work for the state, pushing this notion of radical egalitarianism. And it's a big problem in this country. So this election is about not only defeating many, many radicals that the Democrats have nominated, some of them are outright bigots, but it's also about pushing back against the media that has no comprehension whatsoever what freedom of the press means, the history of freedom of the press, and why it's so important. Freedom of the press exists to undergird freedom of speech. Freedom of the press is simply a person or a group of people, or today businesses, communicating with the American people, sharing information with the American people. But freedom of speech is the basis for freedom of the press. But when the press becomes myopic, malignant, when so-called reporters are really practicing groupthink, proven guilty. And in Kavanaugh's case, there wasn't a shred of evidence. There wasn't a scintilla of evidence. None. And yet look what they did to this man. But this is illustrative because they're doing it to you. Throughout the media, as I speak, when you look at CNN or MSNBC, when you read the Washington Post or the New York Times and that ilk, they're trashing you, the American people. They're comparing you to Nazis. They're calling you racists. They're calling you white supremacists. We reject this. We abhor this. We embrace individual liberty and constitutionalism and unalienable rights for all people, regardless of color, regardless of gender, regardless of religion. We believe in the individual. That is our philosophy. That is our philosophy as conservatives. They do not. They identify us as groups. They put us into groups. And you can see it on CNN and MSNBC in particular. It's truly outrageous. And these are news organizations. And they are so furious that they were not able to determine who would be president in the last presidential cycle. They have spent every hour and every day since Donald Trump was elected president, actually before, every hour and every day trying to destroy his character, trying to uproot his administration, trying to create controversy in order to diminish him and diminish you, and to change the course of the 2016 election and to change the course of history. That's exactly what they're doing right now. It's time to stand up. That's what Tuesday's about. For ourselves, for our families, for our faith, for our country, for our party, and for our president. It's time to stand up. The only threat he poses to the media is he fights back. The president's not attacking any part of the Constitution. He's trying to defend the Constitution. But it's up to us now. It's up to you and me. The question is this. We have men and women, young men and women, who volunteered to fight for this country throughout our history. And we have men and women today in one hellhole after another. What are they fighting for? Are they fighting for the fundamental transformation of America? Are they fighting for this government program or that government program? Are they fighting for some bigots who are running for office as Democrats? Are they fighting for a so-called free press that continues to trash this country? No. They're fighting for you and your principles. What kind of country do you want to have? That's what's on the ballot. You going to vote or are you going to watch? You're going to get others to vote? I have a lot of faith in you, America. I have a lot of faith in you who are viewing the program.